Hello guys, Jared here again, and I'm going to review a movie that I think is pretty underrated actually. I saw it it's on Amazon Prime. That's how I watched it. It's called 18 Again. It's starring George Burns and a guy named Pauly Shore. And George Burns, I think, is kind of an interesting person, like entertainer, because he lived to be 100 years old, which is already very impressive. But another thing is like he started doing comedy, I think, in vaudeville when he was a kid. I think he started vaudeville when he was like 7 years old, and I think he still was doing comedy until his death at age 100. So doing comedy from age 7 to age 100 is very impressive. And basically in this movie, his character is called Jack Watson, I think, yeah. And his grandson in the movie is called David Watson, and his grandson is played by a guy named Pauly Shore. And I have seen another movie with Pauly Shore in. The other movie I've seen him in is Police Academy 7, which is a pretty terrible movie. Um, I liked the first few Police Academy films, but then the later ones were just terrible. And 7 is the worst one. And from what I remember of 7, he was very bland in it. But I thought his character was much better in this. Basically, in this movie, Jack Watson is he's 81 years old. It's his birthday. He turned 81. His grandson, David Watson, is 18 years old. So, their ages are like the same digit numbers, but the other way around. Basically, like on his birthday, he sings a song. I wish I was 18 again, which I think that was already a song by George Burns before this movie came out. And basically, after that, the two of them are in like a car crash, and then after like the car crash, when they wake up in like the hospital, they switched bodies. So his wish came true. He became 18 again, and I think it's a very entertaining film. And they learn, I think, more about each other from the experience. And there's this woman that like George Burns' character Jack, he like falls in love with, who's a lot younger than him. She's quite a lot older than David, but quite a lot younger than Jack. And when they switch bodies, when Jack is in David's body, she starts seducing David, who's his grandson, and it's actually Jack inside David's body, and he says, "Well, what about my grandpa? Aren't you with him?" And she says, I have my relationship with him is purely platonic." And when you hear like his inner monologue, it's still George Burns as the old man voicing, platonic, because of course he knows that it's not a platonic relationship they have, and she's actually cheating on him, trying to cheat on him with his grandson. And at the end, when they get back into the right bodies, he doesn't want to go out with her anymore because she was trying to cheat on him. And it's very satisfying at the end when he kicks her out of the house, because it turned out she was a pretty terrible person for cheating on him like that, trying to, at least with his grandson. There is another girl who David has a crush on, who's more his age, who's called Robin. She's in his class, and at the end of the movie they get together, which is very nice to see. It was a very nice ending. And you also have because apparently like in the history classes, they're learning about like the president Harry S. Truman, and apparently Jack was good friends with Harry Truman, and they learn in the class that the S in his name doesn't stand for anything. And Jack is in the class; he's inside David's body, and he says, actually, my granddad was good friends with him, and he told me that the S actually stands for Sergei, but he kept it a secret because it was a Russian name or something like that. And it's because it's like learning about history and stuff like that he sort of thought that Robin wants to be with him. because she's really into history, and at the end when they're in their own bodies, David asks his granddad Jack if he could teach him more about like the history and stuff of like Harry S. Truman, and that's very nice. It is nice how at the end it seems like him and his granddad are closer than they were at the beginning, which is very nice. Some other interesting cast members in this film are there's Miriam Flynn in this. She plays David's mother in the film, and I know she was also in the Vacation movies. She was cousin Eddie's wife, Catherine, I think was her name in the Vacation movies. So yeah, and also David's best friend in the movie is played by Pauly Shore. And I looked up this. This was actually Pauly Shore's second ever movie that he was in. And I would say, I'm not like exactly the biggest fan of him as an actor. I've seen like Encino Man, or in the UK it's called California Man. Funnily enough, I've seen that, and I thought that was kind of a fun movie. I enjoyed it, but seeing bits of like his other movies just look shit from clips. Like, from what I've seen, like I don't know how anyone could possibly watch like Biodome and find it funny. It's just annoying from what I've seen. But in this, he's a lot more like toned down because like it's in Biodome he's really like loud and obnoxious, but in this movie he's a lot more toned down. I guess kind of more like in California Man, Encino Man. So I didn't mind him in this movie. So yeah, overall, I think this is a very fun and underrated body swap movie. I really like the body swap concept, and it works really well in this. And it's really a lot of fun, and I think it has a lot of heart to it as well. And definitely would recommend checking it out. It's on Amazon Prime, which is how I watched it. You could watch it on there. And please would recommend it. And thanks for watching, and bye.